All right, so Thursday earnings pre-market, we have Palantir, one of my favorite stocks, and has actually been technically like a pretty good get in and out of stock. Palantir, what are your thoughts on buying or selling this into earnings?
I like this as a buy. The trend looks really great. Obviously, nothing ruins a good chart other than a catalyst, in particular earnings in general. But I will say that the trend looks great here. I like this if this moves up over 2265. This should do really well. If it does do that, it's pretty tough resistance for it. So I like this going in. I'm really looking forward to what they have to say about their growth on the commercial side of things, as that's something that investors have really been kind of longing for over the last 6 to 8 months.
Dude, I just realized this is like the week of Chamath.
It is.
We have SoFi on Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have one of Chamath's stocks on each day.
Yeah.
SoFi, actually, I think out of any of his stocks, really, there's been more bullishness of late for investors.
Yes.
Sorry, for analysts. Are you buying or selling SoFi into earnings Thursday after hours?
I'm buying. One of the big reasons is not necessarily that has anything to do with earnings, but I think that the 10-year yield is going to continue to move up. We saw some pretty decent movements from that late last week when we got the non-farm payroll numbers. They knocked it out of the park, or the jobs came back rather. Beyond expectations. And so I think that this bodes well for the financials, SoFi obviously being in that, and I think that they do well.
Next, we have Disney heavy hitter, one of the bigger ones of the week. What do you think about Disney, especially with Delta variant? There's some factors streaming. Yes. Buy or sell that into earnings?
Sure. So there's definitely risks in buying this going into that. I think that that's definitely going to be addressed. The parks, was always their number one revenue driver, and I think that it could still very well be their number one revenue driver. But you also have Disney Plus here, so it'll be interesting to see this because we now have, some movies that they've been releasing and via Disney Plus, as well as simultaneously releasing them to the movie theaters. Be curious to see what those numbers look like. There's definitely some risk buying this going into earnings. I'm still going to say it's a buy, even though I would be nervous about it.
What's interesting about Disney is it's in one of the most Disney World's in one of the least restrictive states.
Yeah.
So you could see them coming back. But then Disneyland's in the most restrictive state.
Yeah.
So you could see it getting slowed down.
Right.
So it remains to be seen how that pushes back. And I think more importantly, what are we seeing as far as the trend of streaming remains to be seen. Wish we got next. Buy or sell?
It's a buy. It's a buy. I like Wish. It's one of the e-commerce stocks that hasn't actually gone up before earnings for it to just sell off. I think that this, with it being down here, it is down over 50% from its highs. It's actually down quite a bit. I think the risk reward here is very good. I personally own this. I have my average around 993. I've been telling our folks in our Chaos crew that I like this as a buy under $10.
All right, next one we have AirBNB, one of your favorite stocks, one of our Chaos Crew favorites. AirBNB, buy or sell?
Buy, in my opinion. This is something.
Was that an NSYNC reference? We're going to clip that, and we're going to play it, and we're going to put NSYNC behind it.
Looking at this, look, the travel industry has come back like crazy. You've tried to look up Airbnbs. I've tried to look up Airbnbs. It's next to impossible to find one, and that should only bode well for their earnings. I like Airbnb. I think that we see a firm move up above 150 by the end of the week.
Next, we have Rocket, an old fan favorite. Rocket, buy or sell?
Selling. Again, just kind of going along with what we saw from Zillow and what I'm expecting from Opendoor. I don't think that Rocket's going to be one that I'd want to be holding on to going into earnings, but I do think it'll be a really great opportunity if what I think is going to happen does happen. I think it'll be a good buying opportunity after earnings. Next
up, we have Tattooed Chef, buy or sell?
Sell. Beyond Meat, shit the bed. Tattooed Chef's probably going to do the same thing.
DoorDash, buy or sell?
I am buying DoorDash, and this is interesting because this is one of the few stocks that benefited from the pandemic and has continued to go up since its IPO. And I think that this actually will continue to do well because habits are formed, and this is one of those ones that I think definitely sticks around. Yeah. I like DoorDash.
Yeah, it's convenient. And one of the things that's interesting about that is they benefit from the lockdown, but they also benefit from reopening.
Yeah.
Because people did form habits. But then there's also people that are a little bit more concerned to just go out. So they'll keep using it. So I think they're going to still see a good adoption rate.
Yep.
There you guys have it. Make sure you stick around, or you actually come check us out on 3:30 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, because Thursday after hours, we're going to be giving our earnings reactions to all these stocks. We're going to stay after the bell and watch them. Let us know in the comments, which one are you most excited about? Which one you think is going to dominate on that?